Guys, there's so many things to talk about happening right now in the gaming industry. But let's first start off with this story. You see, it's very clear that at the beginning of this year, the PlayStation community had nothing. These guys were down bad. They were down so bad that they were shooting dice for the $1 bills.
I got another dollar to that nine. We're gonna get you up out of here. Senior buddy. 6. Nina Ross. 6 and 2, that's 8. All them years you went to school, what came after 8? Nina! Ah!
I'm happy for you, ponies. I'm happy that you guys are winning these dollars. But it just so happened that Microsoft would have gave or basically saved the PlayStation community from dry, boring games and gave them the first banger they had in more than 20 years. And that is a Forza Horizon. Yes, Forza Horizon saved the PlayStation community. And guess what? All these years, the PlayStation community is saying that Microsoft don't make good games, Microsoft don't have games. I mean, this really here vindicates all the Xbox fans to show that here what from ever since Microsoft was killing it, especially with Forza Horizon. Because although Death Stranding is doing all right, I mean, we just saw the numbers. Although in the first week it was not charting, overall it did chart. It was, as some put it, yes, Death Stranding 2 debuted at number 2. Now, I could say that, I mean, games like Starfield, although being on Game Pass, debuted at number 1, first, numero uno, but that's me being messy from these ponies. Yes, we are seeing that Death Stranding did do okay. But if we was to say compare Forza Horizon 5 and Death Stranding 2, what would we see? Well, we will see something very interesting. We would see a 5-year-old game, a game that is made by Xbox, not only outpacing, but outfacing and outchasing Death Stranding 2. Look at this chart. No pony should say anything that they buy their games. Death Stranding 2 is struggling and Astro Bot is struggling because Forza Horizon 5 is outpacing both Death Stranding 2 and also Astrobot. And we are saying that Forza Horizon 5 is PlayStation 5 2025's top new PlayStation game by copies sold. That is what we are seeing. So it's very clear. Microsoft is killing it. The strategy is working to port some of these older games to PlayStation that they never knew, they never experienced. Yeah? And guess what? They not releasing this day and date is even better because now they generate even more hype for the game later down in the years because these ponies are starving. But the news is not finished yet because by now you would know that Wu Cheng Fallen Feathers was recently reviewed. It's doing well when it comes to reviews, and this is releasing day 1 on Game Pass. So by now, most of us will be playing Wu Cheng Fallen Feathers. I mean, what a banger for Game Pass already, right? But we are not only talking about Wu Cheng. Wu Cheng will do well on Game Pass and overall. We are also talking about the Outer Worlds 2. You see, earlier this year, when it is the showcase came out and they released that, or they revealed that Outer Worlds 2 would be $79.99, basically $80. You know, a lot of persons were in an uproar. A lot of persons said that how, you know, Microsoft should not, release this game at $80. However, that was not a problem if it is you had Game Pass. I mean, Game Pass players, it was neither here nor there for Game Pass player. Well, Microsoft would have done this to all the fans who were complaining that Outer Worlds 2 were $80.
Just got its $80 price slashed ahead of launch. Microsoft and Obsidian Entertainment are slashing the price of the Outer Worlds 2 ahead of the game's October launch. Previously, and controversially, priced at $79.99. The Outer Worlds 2 will now retail for $69.99. Obsidian announced Wednesday via social media. We have received your SOS via Skip Drone about the pricing. As an organization devoted to making sure that corporations do not go unfettered, we at the Earth Directorate have worked with Redacted to revise the price of the Outer Worlds 2. Obsidian said, very much in character. On its Blue Sky account, an Xbox spokesperson said that the company will keep its full-priced holiday releases, including the Outer Worlds 2, at $69.99, in line with current market conditions. In a statement provided to Windows Central, implying that the previously announced jump to $79.99 game prices may be on hold for now. Microsoft and Obsidian revealed the Outer Worlds 2's original pricing at this year's Xbox Game Showcase and the Outer Worlds 2 Direct events. The $79.99 price was a shock to many Obsidian fans, despite the Xbox company signaling price increases for first-party Xbox Game Studios games. The original The Outer Worlds, which was published by Private Division, launched in 2019 for $59.99.
So there you have it. Microsoft listened, and guess what? We benefit from it, or persons who are paying for Outer Worlds benefit from it. Again, Game Pass owners neither here nor there with it, because we get it day one on Game Pass. But this is a good, a good move for anyone who is going to pay for Outer Worlds 2. Now, because of this move, this is another talking point for the PlayStation community that has gone down the drain. These guys were throwing a tantrum saying Microsoft is destroying the game and Microsoft is dead. At this point, anytime a pony says that, my wallet and I just sit back and we just laugh. Today, however, let's talk about this lawsuit that Sony has. I mean, I know Sony is no, stranger to lawsuits. Well, this is another lawsuit that, gamers are filing against Sony. I mean, Sony needs to be stopped when it comes to this particular issue in this lawsuit. So sit back and relax. Let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. So guys, we are on our way to 5,000 subscribers. So do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button today. With that sub, you'll get some of the best Xbox content this side of the internet. Of course, we discipline. We show these ponies what it means to have order and not disorder. Yeah, buddy, this is what we do here. So if this type of content interests you, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button today. Now let's get back to the video. So before we start with Sony's legal trouble, did you know that the Nintendo Switch would have dethroned the PlayStation 4? Nintendo Switch 2 has beat the PlayStation 4 launch month sales record in the US. Yes, so the Switch 2 is destroying Sony when it comes to the amount of units sold or consoles sold in the first month. Although this is not the Xbox, let me just still tell the ponies. Sorry Sony, sorry ponies, but your record has been broken. But again, I'm being messy. Let's talk about Sony legal troubles. You see, Sony have been fighting legal battles more than persons are fighting for land in my country.
Your wife's name is Haven't nobody see you for 40 years. You're living in America. Trump sent you back. Now I go on. Yes, mine. Move this from my face. I will fight you. If it's war you want, war you will get. I want all the war. If it's war you want, war you will get. They pirates of the Caribbean, right?
So yes, Sony has been having legal troubles for some time now. We remember in 2023 they were in legal problems with gamers for what? A monopoly, charging or overcharging for games on their, their platform. They were in more legal trouble not too long after that. And this legal trouble is what is coming to fruition today. So let's listen and hear why it is the judge is telling Sony no, that $7 billion is not enough for the gamers that they would have robbed since 2015.
U.S. judge rejects Sony settlement over PlayStation game sales. A U.S. judge in California has declined to approve a class action settlement with Sony that would have distributed $7.8 million in electronic credits to millions of users of the company's PlayStation video game consoles. Sony had agreed to the settlement to resolve claims that it overcharged for digital games. But U.S. District Judge Araceli Martinez-Olwin in San Francisco said in a ruling on Thursday that the plaintiffs had not convinced her the accord was adequate. Martinez-Olwin described the agreement as a coupon settlement and said those types of deals are generally disfavored. The judge said the consumers who brought the case can file a revised proposal. Michael Buckman, a lead attorney for the plaintiffs, declined to comment. Sony did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The plaintiffs, who estimated the class size at more than 4.4 million individuals, sued Sony after its 2019 move to bar retailers such as Best Buy and GameStop from selling so-called download codes for digital PlayStation games. The lawsuit accused Sony of illegally monopolizing the sale of digital PlayStation games. Martinez-Olwin in her ruling said any updated settlement proposal should show how the value and structure of this settlement remain defensible, with an estimate of what individual class members would receive. She asked for examples of comparable cases and their outcomes. In a court filing, Sony said it was settling to avoid the further expense and distraction of continued litigation. The company denied any wrongdoing. The settlement period covers eligible PlayStation game purchases made between April 2019 and December 2023. According to court filings, the plaintiffs' lawyers in a filing in December said they had invested about 700 hours in the litigation, which began in 2021. They had planned to seek up to about 33% of the settlement for legal fees, or about $2.61 million. The case is Augustin Kikuri et al. v. Sony Interactive Entertainment, U.S. District Court.
Yes, this U.S. judge is saying that the settlement that Sony wants to give gamers is a coupon settlement, and he's not having it. So it's very clear that here what Sony has continued to rob their gamers when it comes to their storefront. And I'm just amazed how no major PlayStation website or YouTuber has picked up this story, but I am exposing it. Sony is continuing to rob their fans because their particular storefront is a monopoly. They are sometimes even blocking gamers from buying, discount codes from third-party stores. And guess what? The U.S. Justice Department is not having any of it. And not only the U.S., but other countries like the Netherlands and the UK and the European Union. All of them are not having anything to deal with Sony. Sony needs to understand that they cannot continue doing these things. But let me hear what you thought about everything. Is this judgment justified in your eyes? Should Sony pay more than this $7.8 or $7.9 billion to gamers? Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.